Hello everybody and welcome to my tutorial on how to set up a Minecraft server with Bukkit. So the first thing you need to do is open up a web browser and go to this URL dl.bukkit.org. Now this will take you to the repository kind of for Bukkit. So what I usually do is go to this button. This is alternate versions because it gives me a more informational view of what the heck's going on. So the latest version of Minecraft is 1.5.2. Now they have a recommended build of it, so we should probably get that for the most stability and all that such. So I went ahead and downloaded it to my downloads folder. And okay. Looks like I'll have to skip to this part. I will see you when it's done. Okay, so the download has finished. Now it should show up in my downloads folder. Let's go search for that. My mess of downloads. Whoa, too far, too far, too far. Oh, okay. Note to self. Scrolling sucks while recording. Come on. Oh, okay, it's down here. So what I usually do, or at least what I'm going to do in this example, is make a new folder on my desktop. Now, when I usually do this, I generally put it in my documents folder. Just because it gives me a little bit less clutter everywhere. Because as you can see, I don't have anything on my desktop, and I like to keep it that way. That's kind of a personal preference thing. So then what you're going to do, after you put that in a folder, actually, we need to rename it to craftbukkit.jar. Because that will make sure that it runs the right file, because the file we're about to make to start the server should work for any version. So I'm going to go right click, go to new, and then go to text document. Now you're going to delete all of it in there, even the .txt, and write start.bat. Now the place where start is, the actual file name, that can be anything you want. But the .bat, it always has to be .bat. You can name it your mom.bat. So you can really name it anything you want, just as long as it has .bat. Now it's going to ask you if you want to change the file extension, because it thinks, well, what the hell are you doing? You're not allowed to do that. Luckily, it actually lets you do it. So yes, you want to say yes to that. So now we have this empty file. We want to go to edit. Now, most of you guys will probably do it like that. Now I'm going to do it with a program I like to use called Notepad++. Now it gives you a little bit more of an extensive environment. I like to do like all my server properties and things in it because it just works very nicely, isn't it? And as you can see, I have all my previous things I've done, so it opens up the things that you edited at a previous time. So I kind of like this program. So next what you're going to do is go to the Bukkit wiki. So wiki.bukkit.org. Now, what you're going to do is setting up server. Now we're on Windows, right? So you need to copy this, and this is a Java command. So what I'm gonna do, see these things right here, the 1024, that is a RAM limit. So I have 6 gigabytes of RAM in my system, so I can change that to 3072 to give me 3 gigabytes of RAM dedicated to my server. What I would do is, if you're running it with your system and it's not a dedicated box, make sure to not put too much RAM on it. I find about 3 gigabytes fine for 8 gig and 6 gig systems, like mine and probably the most of your guys's. Now if you're running 4 gigs, I would probably only dedicate 1 gigabyte because Microsoft can be kind of a RAM hawk. Or Windows, sorry. So I'm going to go ahead and save that file. And now, well, we need to check and make sure that it calls upon the craftbucket.jar, and it does. That's why we renamed it, because up there it looks for that file, and when you download it, it isn't named craftbucket.jar, so you're gonna have to rename it. Or what you could do, if you don't want to rename the craftbucket.jar file that you downloaded, you could just edit the file name in here to do like your mom, but craftbucket yourmom.jar. But my file isn't named that, so I'm gonna leave it to craftbucket.jar. So now what we do is double click on this. It should pop up a terminal window. Now I know this might look scary for some users, but it's actually quite simple to use. So right now it's generating the spawn and probably the nether now. So now up there it kind of had some errors. Don't freak out, because when it first starts up it has to generate some files that aren't there, so it pops up a warning. So just don't worry about that. So what I usually do after the first time I start it, I do stop, which stops the server. Just S-T-O-P. Quite simple. So now I can go into the server.properties. It'll probably put like an error or something here, but it'll put the type will be properties file. Now I can also edit that with Notepad++. Now this is all the properties for a server. Well, not all of them, but the basic ones, like the max build height, force game mode, not sure what that is, and then a port. There's flight, so you can make people fly with mods, which is kind of cool. So I can edit it to 30 users, and I can change the see, this is in the difficulty, the 0 equals, I'm just going to edit, put this down here, 0 equals peaceful, 1 is easy, 2 is normal, 3 equals hard. So I usually set it to normal, so I set it to 2. I'm going to go ahead and delete that so it doesn't mess with the configuration. You can also change the spawn monsters, game mode. Now 0 equals survival, and 1 equals creative. So I'm gonna make this a survival server just for this example. So I'm gonna set that to 0, which is the default actually. Now this is the message of the day. If you go on a server, you will generally see, let's give it a minute. Yeah, this launcher is a really nice launcher, but it does take a bit to boot up. Anyway, so let's go into a Minecraft session. Mojang. Okay, go to multiplayer. I can add, well, my server isn't up anymore. Anyway, oh, I know. Local host. Okay. Whoops. So this is the message of the day. usually when you open a server, you'll see the server name, and then you'll see can't reach server. Now, if the server was up, where it says can't reach server, right there will be a custom message that you can specify in the message of the day. So I can say, hello YouTube, this is my server. And you can, so you save that. Okay. So then we can, whoops, not minimize, exit out, and then you can start the .dat again. Now it'll recognize, and it won't pop up an error because it'll realize, hey, there's a thing here. Now, on your network, you just type in localhost. See, look, hello YouTube, this is my server. So you can log in, join server, and here I am, playing on a world. Now it probably looks a bit laggy because I'm recording with different software than I'm used to. Whoa. Yeah, I might want to log out of that. Okay. So, you're probably wondering, well, that's all fine to play on my own, but can't I do that with survival anyway? I want to play with my friends. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the server, and we will continue on to the next part. Now what I usually do is go to google.com and type in what is my IP. And right there, it'll tell you that this right here is my external IP. Now, computers are set up in a way that anything connected to your router has an internal IP. So my router has an IP of 192.168.1.1. So I can log in to my router, and I can only access this on my network, so you can't go into your friend's router from your house. It doesn't work like that. So you can't really access the router from out of your network. So I logged into my router, and I'm going to go to port forwarding / port triggering. Now there's probably going to be somewhere on your router software that says somewhere where it says port forwarding basically. And what you're going to do is add custom service. Oh, one sec. I need to delete my other services because I already port forwarded this and it's probably will glitch out. So I'm going to delete that service. Yeah, that one too. Okay. Okay, so now I do add custom service. Usually it'll give you an option to name the service, so I can do YouTube test server. Now I want it to be TCP/UDP. We want both of those. Now the starting port will be 25565, and that is the standard Minecraft port, and the ending port will be the same darn thing. Now, you're probably wondering, well, what the hell is a server IP address? Well, what I'm going to do is go to command prompt and type in ipconfig. Now, I have VirtualBox installed, so I have a little bit of a different setup. But this process won't be changed. So what you want to do is look at your main wireless device. So I'm connected through Wi-Fi to my home network. So I want to go to wireless LAN adapter, Wi-Fi. Now I see IPv4 address. It says 192.168.1.3. Now that is my internal IP address. That is how my computer talks to the router. So I'm going to hit apply. See, port forwarding isn't that hard. What people fail most of the time is the difference between the internal and the external. Now this is the external. This IP address is applied to all the computers in my network that connect to the internet. So if I go to google.com, it receives a connection from that IP address. That one right there. Now all my internal inside my network, everything's connected through different IP addresses. So if you get something that's 192.168.1. something, that is not the IP you want to give to your friends because it will not work. This is the IP you want to give to your friends. So now that I've port forwarded right there, YouTube test server, the port is 25565, and the IP is 192.168.1.3, or 192.168.1.3. I think I just said that. Anyway, if you check again, it's right there. That is, now the default gateway, that is the IP that everything goes to get out into the internet. So don't worry about that. Just worry about the IPv4 address. So now that I've changed my router settings, I can go ahead and copy this IP address. Make sure to copy it correctly and not have like the first character before, because that will mess it up. Well, this is weird. Anyway, I can go into, well, first of all, I need to start the server, so I'm going to close out of that. Click on the start.bat. It should start the server. And I will add a server called, and put the IP address in. Now, you don't need to do the standard 25565. That Minecraft will automatically add that. But if you only need to do that if you have a different port. For example, I sometimes run my servers at 25566 just because. Anyway, oh, I can leave that out, I forgot. Anyway, so that should connect, and as you see the same splash screen, which means it's working. Now you're probably wondering, well, what's Bukkit? Well, Bukkit is kind of a more expandable Minecraft server. So basically the guys took the code from a Minecraft server and expanded upon it and made it so you could put plugins in. Now, 99% of the time, this is a better choice than just using the standard Minecraft server, because there's a lot more improvements in it, and there's just little things that are easier to do later on, and it seems like my computer does not like to record while playing Minecraft. Let's try localhost and see if it's any different. And it is. That is strange. Interesting. Let's try it again. Anyway, the only situation where I can think that Bukkit would not be the better choice is if you're playing on a custom map, because sometimes those maps can get a little buggy if they don't run on the stock server build. And I'm talking about like parkour maps or any like adventure, anything that really uses extensive command block things. It depends. Just read the wiki, or not the wiki, what the author has put up about the map, and just kind of use that to your advantage. So usually they'll tell you, for example, if I go to, what was it? Oh, TCPC parkour, and I'm failing to type today. Sorry about that, guys. Looks like that wasn't found. Anyway, so as you can see, setting, and if you want to find out more commands, just do help, and it'll give you the basic commands. So you can set up a whitelist, you can give people experience, you can also add plugins like Essentials that add tons of more commands, and this is the reason why I use Bukkit. I use it on my dedicated server, which is not up at the moment. It's going through a rough patch. Anyway, so thanks for watching. I hope this helped. It probably did. Yeah, that was kind of... Anyway, thanks for watching. Goodbye.